Hello everybody, it's Mark and Patty. I think you know us by now, but just in case you don't, it's the Scottish Medium and the Lady of the Lake. Although how she manages to breathe after coming out of the water, I don't know. She still hasn't told me that miracle. I'm waiting.
It's a secret.
Damn, she's got so many secrets. So, just a very quick video, number one, to prove that we do exist together. I know you've seen me and you've seen Patty, but here we are, you know. Pulse?
Yes.
Yeah, she's alive. She's alive. Pulse. I'm alive as well. So, in the very near future, given what's been happening, given that you're all sitting at home bored and terrified, don't be, because spiritual healing energy is everywhere, just open yourself up to it. We're both available for doing readings online. So, there'll be a website that we'll be putting this on in the next few days, and there'll be links from ladyofthelake.org and justascottishmedium.com and traditionalscottishspiritualtraining.com. There you are. There's all the websites in one go.
You can also reach out to me at the Lady of the Lake Medium, Patty Valentine via Facebook Messenger if that's easier.
And find me on Messenger, not to be outdone, Just a Scottish Medium. That's Just a Scottish Medium. I know, I'm modest on that side. Okay, so what does an online reading involve?
An online reading is pretty much exactly the same way that we conduct readings if you were to come in and sit down with us at a fair. Same exact objective, it's just safer for you and the medium. It's just as easy. So.
In other words, what she's saying is if you've got the virus, I'm not going to get it. If I've got the virus, you're not going to get it. And there you've got the two different styles.
And we don't have the virus.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our health and safety that we're worried about, not yours. And there you've got the different personalities. The benign, caring, healthful Lady of the Lake and the fire and brimstone in your face, Just a Scottish Medium. So, what have we been doing together for the last week, Patty?
Okay, so we took a trip out to Chicago, visited the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo, had an excellent time there, great fair. We made a lot of amazing contacts, met up with some leaders of some spiritual churches out there. We're hoping to get a course up and running up in Chicago now, which is amazing.
Probably September. Don't quote me on that, but keep watching the websites.
And then we did some circles here at Lady of the Lake, which is my store, Lady of the Lake. Not to be confused with the Lady of the Lake Medium.
Or what's the name of the store?
Okay, there's actually two stores in one location, a spot and a spell.
Very simplistic and very confusing.
A spot and a spell, which is our Harry Potter themed tea and coffee shop, and the Lady of the Lake, which is our metaphysical side of the store.
As I said, very confusing.
So we did a couple Scottish themed spiritualist
Just
circles.
a Scottish Medium, you know, in case you hadn't noticed from the accent.
And those were phenomenal, great turnouts. And then we had our one-day introductory course for the modules and courses that are coming up, and that was a huge success. You like to interrupt a lot.
Absolutely. I'm Scottish, what do you expect?
So we're very excited. We had a great turnout on Saturday for the introductory course. Everybody's excited. Everybody's signing up. And then we're preparing now for the intensive course coming up in July.
And possibly in September in Chicago. Now, just to be absolutely clear, that was meant to be in Scotland. I haven't discussed this with the Dunfermline Church yet, but they've actually closed services down now. Basically because we're really tightening down in the UK, so I don't really think that we're going to be able, in the timescale we're talking about, unless there's a miraculous cure, which possibly in Australia, according to a British newspaper, but I'll take it with a pinch of salt until they stick an injection in Patty's arm and test it. So just work on the assumption that we're not doing September in Scotland. We will, as soon as we can get a date for next year, weather permitting, and tourist dates like the Edinburgh Festival out the way, arrange a proper date in Scotland for next year. So, me sticking my neck on the line coming back if there are still flights, and if I'm allowed in with my passport, again all subject to acts of spirit and Donald Trump, but that's another story. Should be back in July for the first confirmed course that we've already sold multiple tickets for, and September probably in Chicago. Also planning from the first course, it looks as though we'll be setting up in the very near future proper spiritualist churches in Buffalo, Rochester and Syracuse. And as we already have one set up here in Lolydale with this famous personality here, and if we can get something done in Chicago, if we can do that by the end of the year, I think Spirit will let me die at the end of the year and rest in peace. That was a joke, please. You just have to get used to the sarcasm if you're not used to it now.
Very sarcastic, but in a good way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fire and brimstone.
I have to keep him in check. We're like the yin and the yang in the mediumship world.
We've been like that ever since we met. Let me just tell you, I mean, you've probably heard this multiple times from myself and multiple times from Patty, but you've never actually seen the gleam in our eyes when we tell it together, have you? There I was, Celtic Fair, day after I'd arrived in America, bored out of my mind, walking around watching American Scotsmen with their kilts up to here. Anybody in Scotland that's watching that is now in hysterics. Anybody in America that wears a kilt up to here, do your research if you're not female. You can work the rest out from that yourself. Met a young woman called Pandora, who was instrumental in getting everything set up. If you're watching this, Pandora, where are you now? We haven't heard from you for ages. You'll see her in some of the early videos. Ended up speaking to this lady, and well, what happened next, Patty?
Mark introduced himself. We got to talking. I invited him to come down and visit my shop. He did, to my surprise.
The look of horror on her face when she saw me on the door.
Yes, I was in shock. I didn't really think he'd come, but Spirit brought him to me.
Mind you, the look of horror on my face when she turned up in my door in Scotland following my "you've got to come to Scotland" invitation.
Mm-hmm. And he did. He said, "You've got to come to Scotland. You've got to see how we work there." And 6 months later, there I was.
6 months, 2 days, 4 hours, 5 minutes. It's not that I'm a stickler for numbers.
The accountant. So I had a phenomenal time in Scotland, and I can't express enough the difference between traditional Scottish mediumship and the way mediumship here is in America. Not saying that there's anything wrong with American mediumship.
She's polite, I'm not.
I just feel that we have a lot more to learn and grow from, and that is what this training course is all about.
And if I'm also going to be honest, I learned a lot from America as well, because I really hadn't gone commercial, and I working as a professional medium when I say commercial, just to be absolutely careful in case people in Scotland start hitting me on the back of the head. But I wasn't earning a living as a medium. I learned how to do that here in America, but bending it to Scotland, just as we're bending the Scottish methodology to America.
Yes. So, wrapping this up, I hope you can join us. If you need any more information, please go to our website, which is
traditionalscottishspiritualtraining.com.
And if
which you can find from links from our personal websites as well.
He likes to interrupt a
Absolutely.
lot, so.
Why let a woman speak when a man can speak over her? Yang, if you're watching, I didn't say that. I'll edit it out.
So, if you're in the United States, you can also feel free to call me or get on my Facebook page and message me.
I also have an American phone number that you'll find listed. And also, come on, introduce yourself. This young gentleman here, just so you recognise the face.
It's my son.
He's also the sales manager and recruitment manager for the training courses. You'll find them both at the store when Patty's not here, or alternatively at the fairs if I'm not there. So one of us looks forward to hitting you on the head and getting you to sign on the dotted line and make the checks payable to us. Bye-bye.